Saw 2 is a 2005 horror film that is indeed the sequel to Saw. In fact, it's just 1 year after the first movie. This time it's not directed by James Wan, it's directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. Now the plot this time around is we meet Donnie Wahlberg, who plays Detective Eric Matthews. And Eric Matthews, I don't want to say he's a corrupted cop, but he's definitely a little crooked. He's willing to plant evidence in order to get a verdict on some criminals or just use any type of illegal acts to get his job done. So that makes him the next target for Jigsaw. And Jigsaw not only kidnaps his son, but he kidnaps a bunch of other people, puts them all in a house with this gas that's slowly killing them. They only have a few hours to escape. So Eric Matthews, not only does he have to first find out where Jigsaw is, but he has to find where his son is as well. Now what I think of Saw 2 is, I like this movie. I do. Is it better than the first Saw? No, of course not. But I've seen some people say that they think this is one of the worst Saw movies or Saw sequels, and I completely disagree with that. I think there's a lot of things to like about this film. First, let's talk about Donnie Wahlberg as Eric Matthews, because I like Donnie Wahlberg here. Of course, he's that hard-ass, tough-type character who especially doesn't treat his son all that well. But I guess this is one of the things that I like about the Saw movies, that we have our main characters who aren't perfect. They aren't the, quote, good people. They have a lot of flaws. They've done a lot of messed up things themselves, but still I find myself caring about the character or wanting him to find Jigsaw and stop him. But that brings me to Tobin Bell as Jigsaw, because we only just found out who Jigsaw was at the very end of the first movie. So we didn't get to see a whole lot of Tobin Bell, but this time around, he's all there. You see him from the beginning. In fact, the cops catch him at the very beginning, but of course that's all a part of his plan. And I like Tobin Bell a lot. I like that we get so much more of him in this film because he's both creepy and you're a little fascinated to listen to him talk when he forces Donnie Wahlberg to sit down and talk to him or listen to him and how he's just speaking. It might sound like he's just going on, rambling, repeating himself, but especially when you get to the end, you see that there was a lot of wisdom, or at least a lot that you have to listen to what he's saying. And I also love the fact that our main antagonist, our main villain of these movies has cancer. So not only does that drive a lot of why he's doing what he's doing, but here's a guy who's not going to last all that long. He's not going to be alive all that long, but yet he's the focal point. He's the guy who's making everything happen. The characters who are trapped in the house along with Donnie Wahlberg's son, we have Emmanuelle Vager, who, this chick, is so hot. I swear, I don't know. She's beautiful. That's really all I gotta say about her. Frankie G plays Xavier, who I guess is one of the biggest assholes in the house. Even though he does some deplorable things, especially near the end to most of these characters, I still like to watch him. He's still kind of entertaining and just, I don't know, the way he acts. I can't say I like him, but I like to watch him. There's this one character, Obi, who helped, in a way, get some of these characters in the house, kidnap them, but he's in the house too. So I just like that dynamic of nobody being able to trust him. He's a little creepy himself. And we have Amanda, played by Shawnee Smith. Amanda, the same character who was in the first movie for that brief moment. She's back. She's back in this house in another trap because I guess she's fucked up her life once again. One thing that makes this movie different from not only the first Saw film, but the rest of the Saw sequels, are the traps. Because, yeah, technically they're traps, but the way that they're set up in this house, it's almost like a fun house, or a haunted house in a way, where each and every room, each and every trap is specific for certain characters. And seeing, like, when Obi has to go in the furnace to get these needles that's supposed to have the antidote for this gas that's going in them. That was really hard to watch. I mean, I've seen this movie a bunch of times, but every time I see him go in there, and then when the door shuts, it's locked, and the fire turns on, and he basically burns alive, and I can't watch somebody burn alive. Or the needle pit. Xavier is supposed to do it himself. It's supposed to be his trap, but he picks up Amanda and forces her to do it. Just shoves her in there. And Shawnee Smith, once again, does not disappoint with her acting. She puts everything into it. She's screaming and crying and carrying on while she's in this pit. You really, really feel for her character. And also, there's a glass box that Emmanuel, this is the point where everyone in the movie is pretty much almost near death from this gas. So, granted, she's a little delirious, but when you see a glass box that has the antidote, but you have to stick your hands through these holes that she doesn't realize it, but it has blades at the end of it. So when she does it, her hands get stuck and it starts to cut her arms. She's stuck there. And even the way that scene is shot, the way how the lighting is and how her blood in the glass is forcing that red light down on her. It's in one sense beautiful to look at, but also horrific as well. Some of my favorite moments in the movie is, like I said, when Jigsaw is forcing Donnie Wahlberg to sit down and talk to him and wait it out. Donnie Wahlberg just has this attitude. Of course, can you blame him? It's his son, but he's not hearing it. And the moment when he flips out and goes nuts and beats the holy fucking piss out of Jigsaw, I love it every time. Even though it's not what he's supposed to do. Even though I know he's making the wrong choice, it's something that I can understand, and I completely root for that. But that brings me to the ending, the twist. Obviously, spoiler alert, just in case. But the twist is that the feed that the cops are watching this footage from, it's not live. So everything in the house with those characters, it happened a couple of days ago. So not only was that surprising, but when you see that Donnie Wahlberg's son was in the house with them in a safe, and again, all he had to do was sit there and talk to Jigsaw until the time ran out. But no, like I said, he flipped out, and Jigsaw brought him to the house. But that's when you find out that Amanda is Jigsaw's apprentice. And all of that, it's almost just like so many layers of surprises that I'm still not sure if it equals the shock that I have from the first movie. I mean, I still get chills when I see that ending. But this one, I guess there was so many surprises all in this ending that I think it did a good job at least trying to hold up. Saw 2, I enjoyed this film. I do. It might not be some of the best of the series, but I do think it's pretty damn good. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Saw 2? Oh yes, there will be blood. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!